Well, math 151, we have f of x equals sine of 2.5x minus cosine squared of 2.5x plus 3. We are told that this function has infinitely many inflection points, and we're trying to find the coordinate of the first one with positive x value. So the first one immediately after y-axis. So we're going to take the first derivative, then the second derivative, and set it equal to 0. Let me go to the next page. I'm going to rewrite, since I want to take the derivative, I'm going to rewrite this as f of x equals sine of 2.5x plus cosine of 2.5x, all this quantity squared plus 3. And now that's easier for me to take, to take the derivative. So I have f prime of x equals cosine of 2.5x times 2.5. So I'm going to put that in front, plus, actually, this was minus. My apologies. This sign right here was minus. Let me go. Okay, so let me go and just double make sure that I had it correctly. Yes, I have it correctly. Minus cosine squared. Okay. So minus 2 times cosine of 2.5x times the derivative of inside, and that would be minus sine of 2.5x, and that's going to be times 2.5, then all that multiplied by 2.5 using the chain rule. Okay, so f prime of x equals f prime of x equals, here I have 2.5 cosine of 2.5x, negative 10 times negative is positive, 2.5 times 5 times 2 is 5. Then I have cosine of 2.5x times sine of times sine of 2.5x. Okay, so notice that I can go ahead and factor a 2.5 cosine of 2.5x from factor it out, because I have it here and I have it in here. So now I have f prime of x. So once again, I'm saying factor cosine of 2.5 2.5x out. Actually, I can factor a 2.5 cosine of okay. If I factor that, now I have f prime of x equals 2.5 cosine of 2.5x. Then I have 1 plus 2 sine of 2.5x. Okay. So now notice that really I have f prime of x. I have 3 things being multiplied equals. I have 2.5. That's a constant. I don't have to do. I can keep it out. Then I have this is getting multiplied by cosine of 2.5x. And this is getting multiplied by 1 plus twice sine of 2.5x. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and keep this 2.5 out because it's a constant. I don't have to do much with it. So if double prime of x, if double prime of x equals, here's my 2.5. Now I have to use the product rule. Remember that I have to say a derivative of first one times the second one plus derivative of second one times the first one. Okay, going back here, so I have the second derivative equals 2.5. then I have minus the derivative of cosine of 2.5x is minus 2.5 sine of 2.5x. And we said that we are multiplying that by 1 plus 2 sine of 2.5x. And that plus, okay. The first one untouched, so cosine of 2.5x untouched times the derivative of the second one. Derivative of 1 is 0, derivative of 2 sine of 2.5x. So here it's going to be my 2. Derivative of sine is cosine. Cosine of 2.5x times the derivative of inside, which is 2.5. Okay, let me close the bracket. So now, let me go ahead and distribute. So let's see, I have two parts here. Let's look at this plus sign. So let's say that I have the first part in here. And now I'm going to go ahead and distribute, multiplying the sine of 2.5x by multiplying the, the negative 2.5 sine of 2.5x distributed into this and to this. And here I'm going to combine because I have cosine of 2.5x here and I have another cosine of 2.5x here. So I'm going to have f double prime of x equals negative 2.5 sine of 2.5x plus 2.5 times 2 is 5, and that is actually negative because that's a negative. So minus 5 times sine squared of 2.5x. Okay. And all that plus this, I had, let's see, I had the first time, then I had this plus cosine of 2.52 times x. So now I have 2.5 times 2. Notice that 2.5 this times this, I have plus 5 times cosine squared of 2.5x. Let me check my for 2.5. Yes. So far I have this. And now I know that since I want to set this equal to 0, I have sine here, I have sine here, and cosine here. So I'm going to use the identity that cosine squared of any theta equals 1 minus sine squared of that theta. So using that, I'm going to go ahead and replace that cosine squared with 1 minus sine squared. Going to the next page. So f double prime of x equals, here's my 2.5. I'm going to keep it, not doing anything, minus 2.5 sine of 2.5x minus 5 times sine squared of 2.5x plus 5 times, we said cosine squared is 1 minus sine squared of 2.5x. And now I'm going to go ahead and distribute this part. So I'm getting f double prime of x equals 2.5 minus 2.5 sine of 2.5x minus 5 times sine squared of 2.5x. Then I have a plus 5, then I have minus 5 times sine squared of 2.5x. And I'm going to put this, sine squared in. Well, I can combine. Notice that I have -5 sine squared and another -5 sine squared of the same thing, so that's -10. So if double prime of x equals 2.5, and I'm going to write that in front, -10 times sine squared of 2.5x minus 2.5 sine of 2.5x, and here's my +5. And so I'm going to go ahead and let's see. I'm going to go ahead and factor a 2.5 out of this, and this. Actually, I can, factor a negative 2.5. So factor negative 2.5 out. Let's go to the next page. So now I have f double prime of x equals, I had a 2.5 here. I'm factoring a negative 2.5 out. So now I'm left with 4 times sine squared of 2.5x plus sine of 2.5x plus 2. Okay, well, looks like I have a quadratic. So let's say let u equals sine of 2.5x. Now, if I make that substitution for here, I can rewrite this as 4u squared plus u minus 2 equals 0. So a equals 4, b equals 1, c equals -2. So using quadratic formula, I have x equals -b plus and minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Let me go to the next page. So I have x equals opposite of b plus and minus square root of b squared, which is 1 squared, minus 4 times a times c -2 all over 2 times 4. So the inside of the square root, I have 32, 33, minus 1 plus and minus square root of 33 over 8. And my iPad is giving me a hard time. We go here, maybe, okay, it's right here. So -1 plus and minus square root of 33 all over 8. Okay, and so now that gives me 2 approximation. Let me use my calculator. So square root of 33, which is 5.744, and so subtracting 1 from it, divided by 8. So I have one answer that's going to be, so this is, actually this was my formula, but here I'm solving for u. So I have one answer is u equals negative 0.84307. Okay, and the other one, give me 1 second. Okay, and I have u equals 0.59307. Okay. So what was u? We had, and let me just clear this because like I said, my iPad wouldn't write in that corner for some reason. So let me go actually to the next page. Maybe that solves the problem. So I have u equals minus 0.84307 and u equals 0.59307. And so we said that U was sine of 2.5x. So we had sine of 2.5x equals minus 0.84307, and sine of 2.5x equals 0.59307. Taking sine inverse of both sides, so second sine inverse of negative 0.84307, that gives me negative 1. So now I have 2.5x equals negative 1.002966339. And on this side, sine inverse of 0.59307. That gives me, so now this side gives me 2.5x equals 0.634864603. Dividing both on all sides by 2.5, I get x equals here and x equals, so divided by 2.5. Okay, on this side, I get x equals negative 0.4011865355, and in this side, divide 0.634866 divided by 2.5. I get that as x equals positive 0.253946581. Okay, so which is approximately 0.254. I'm going to work with this one because we said we are not interested in the negative one. Let me go to the next page. So when x approximately equals 0.254, then f of 0.254 equals sine of 2.5, 0.254 minus cosine squared of 2.5 0.254, and we had a plus 3 at the end. So I have sine of 2.5, minus cosine squared of 2.5, plus 3, and I'm getting the 2.945. Now, okay, so the final answer, because we are asked for the coordinate point, is going to be 0.254, comma 2.945. Okay, thanks.